So I've been thinking of this thing recently. There's this thing that has come out, recent Project Veritas expose of Twitter, where they're talking to different people at at Twitter. And I've just been thinking about something for some time. Like, how does Project Veritas keep coming up with these things? And then for some time before that, I've thought of this thing called Amunga's constant. That's just what I'm calling it now. That it just says this: if you think about something enough to state it, someone somewhere has been, is, or will be doing it seriously. That's something that I've noticed from current timeline, where if you say anything about anything, someone has done it seriously. And then going further with people on the more political left, identifying on kind of the regressive side, that those kind of people, the so-called liberals, with them, they are the me. Some people are fixating, at least focusing, pulling out. Even Elon Musk himself pulled out the part where Martinez kind of mocks him for having Asperger's. And you could say, oh, people have different senses of humor. But remember, with that R word, this is a thing where people say, when I say this, I'm not making fun of special needs people. This is just something you say about people. Just like here, I think that Asperger's being used in that kind of sense is something that people kind of say, oh, this person's a bit off. And then, of course, you have some people going, well, like, these are the people who are supporting Trump when he was doing the hand movements. And some people point out, hey, he was doing those hand movements because of the things that he's done. He didn't really remember that reporter, but people were still kind of going that. But some people use those things as magic spells. They don't actually mean it. But it's a good thing to kind of remind people. But these are just the things that are out there in the ether. To try to pretend that this is such like a holy cow that nobody makes fun of. Nah, people kind of tease people for these kind of things. It's a common thing that people do. I don't personally look at it as some sort of grand gift. I know some people are saying it might be the new evolution of humanity, but I also don't look at it as some sort of massive handicap. There's people on the spectrum, as they say, depending on who you are in your personal situations, you might be in a situation where you can take advantage of whatever different sort of mind Asperger's gives you, and in some situations it could be a massive handicap. That's the same thing with height. Shaq is going to work well at basketball, but there's certain things Shaq can't do because he's a massive human being. Before I get to the Amunga's constant part of this video, which is primary reason I was doing this, the main thing that I object to what Martinez said here was his distaste, seeming distaste for free speech, saying, oh, we're doing things that are good for the world, and rather than just free speech. Free speech is good for the world. Part of the reason why the West is the best place to take advantage of people's abilities who have Asperger's or that condition, they can make the most out of themselves. They can actually be out there in society, will be out there in the world, is because they have access to actually being able to share their point of view. People can make a case for, oh no, let's not put this person in a home. This person has different abilities. We can work things around. That sort of freedom, that sort of life in the West is part of why they're able to achieve certain things like this. Like someone like Elon Musk, people can say, oh, this is the most famous African American, this shows what Africans can do. But no, if he stayed in South Africa, he wouldn't have been able to achieve the same things that he did by leaving and going to a more freer society, a society with more liberty and things like that. Interestingly enough, Martinez talks about the very sort of person that makes those other cultures not as positive as the Western ones, where people are controlling. People can't make up their minds unless we tell them the right information. It's for the greater good. That sort of thing happens. But no, give people liberty, give people freedom. Then you have some people on the spectrum doing things like Elon Musk is doing, but you also have some people on the spectrum doing things like the things you see on libs of TikTok. Those are also people on the spectrum. These are different ways people can express themselves. Some people might consider some positive, some people might consider others negative. But I think it's better when we actually have the ability to express and share this information. This is a good reminder, though. These people are not fans of free speech, not absolute free speech. I am an absolute free speech person. Say anything that you want does not necessarily mean you won't have the ability of people to actually react to what you say, being held accountable for the things that you said. But I am for more information about anything at all times. Doesn't mean you have to say anything. Again, you don't have to speak, but I prefer knowing information about the way things are. If this is something about reality, I'd rather know more about that reality. Even if it's your perception of reality, I'd rather know what you think about reality rather than the fake things you're trying to tell me about reality in order to try to get me to do something that you think is going to be positive for your reality and those kind of things. So, with the meme on the screen, I think I recall watching maybe the first season or just a couple of episodes of Ozark. It was a show based in the Ozarks. I think it's somewhere in the Midwest or something where it's involved with like drugs and selling. But this is Ruth Langmore, and she has this line which is just like, I don't know shit about fuck, when she was being asked to actually be a point person in this drug kind of thing, whatnot. So I kind of just thought of this thing, like, point of view, you're an attractive person I just met, and you just asked me about my job at a tech company, mainstream media, or public sector job, and you're just like, I don't know shit about fuck. Because I don't know how people keep falling for these. Project Veritas keeps doing these things and catching these people, and these people keep speaking about it. And it's not just tech companies. I've seen people in the media, of course, seen people in public sector, some of the alphabet boys and things like that. I think the alphabet boys are normally pretty much better at these kind of covert ops because they do these covert ops themselves. So I kind of did this meme, just kind of putting it around, just laughing like, how are these people not doing it? And then finally, Project Veritas does this thing where they actually release this clip where Twitter has actually been sending out things to the employees to tell them to avoid this. Now watch this in the actual video. I mean, I thank them for their hubris, but these people are the meme. They live action roleplay the memes.
People are starting to leak now? Like, what?
Unfortunately, it would be like you recording me right now and giving it to like the New York Times.
Why is he saying the New York Times? To these people, certain people, New York Times is their entire life. That's all they think of.
You see where it's from?
Corporate security.
It's from corporate security. They probably have former alphabet boys working with them.
And how to protect yourself.
There, it says protect yourself. When I posted it, I was kind of just joking around like HR departments should give out to me, but they're giving out actual instructions. And then this Veritas guy's like, what is Veritas? That is excellent. This pause makes me think he might have been suspicious, like, you should know this, but oh, you're cute anyway, or whatever it is. But some people think you have to tell somebody you're recording them. If it's a one-party consent state, you do not. But this is the best part right here.
You're lucky that you met me organically, because I would be questioning everything about you.
You're lucky we met organically. Then he does a little twist to the head. No, if somebody's attractive at this time and you don't really know them. Okay, so this person is supposedly in charge of telling us what's true, telling the rest of the world what's true for the greater good and things like that. And then they can't even tell in their personal life who's someone who actually cares them and knows about them and shouldn't be hearing certain information. But they want to tell you what information you should be hearing about the rest of the world. Not necessarily, I mean, you can be completely obese and give really good advice for workouts, for diet and things like that. You can just read something that somebody says. You can even know it but not be able to apply it in your life. You could have a horrible personal life and be the best therapist in the world and just make people just find their partners, get married, fix their marriages, fix their work relationships. It does not necessarily mean that you can't. But so many cases, the people who are supposedly our betters, the illiterati, who are supposed to be telling us how to live our lives in a better way, don't have lives that you would want to live personally. They might appear that way, they might project this kind of thing, but when they're actually in their actual lives, it's not a happy sort of situation. So I just thought this was kind of funny with the whole Amunga's constant type of thing. Let me know what you thought about these leaks. Yes, there's going to be people coming out, oh, these people are just putting things on Project Veritas, here they do these things. It's literally somebody speaking. Yes, they clip it in different ways, but it's never, ever would anybody think you can get a clip of somebody saying something in private to somebody else and then start a whole global movement where you have these pink hats and you do these marches all around capitals of the countries that you continued for years and years. Nobody would base that off of a clip taken in private when somebody didn't know they were being recorded. No, these people are totally people who say we need to actually sit down and talk and hear about the full context about things, and actually, is this person talking about actions that they actually did? Is this truly what they mean? No, these are not people that take things for granted. They don't jump to conclusions like that, so listen to them when they say these things. Till next time, goodbye.